Are we live yet? For those of you watching the replay, I'm waiting for this to go live on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, we're live on Facebook. If you got to notice about 20 minutes ago, that was an accident. I started a video. I'll have to go back and delete that. So welcome everybody on Facebook and YouTube. The chat you see in the screen is from YouTube. And hold on just 1 second. I don't always get the chat all in one window. I'm going to have 2 different windows for me to look at. So thank you to all of you who join me every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We do this every week. This is a highly asked for video on the iPad. If you don't use the iPad, you still might learn something. And the iPad does have some different features than the desktop. This is not Android. Android might be the same thing, but to be honest, I don't know. I have not looked at the Android version of this since it was originally released. So I personally don't know the Android questions. Maybe somebody in the chat or in the comments do. So if you're watching the replay and you know all about the Android app, go check out, see if there's any questions you could answer. I welcome other people to answer questions in my comments and in my chat. I think it's awesome for other people to help others. That's why I'm here. I like helping. And so let's get started. I want to thank all of my supporters, also the supporters on Patreon and YouTube. We got a few more YouTube people this morning. I haven't looked at my list yet. We might have more. The more YouTube sponsors we get, the more custom emojis we get. So we have some custom emojis. That's one reason why I think some people support, because it's so much fun to use those emojis. And also, we have sponsors on Facebook too. They keep changing the name of it. YouTube and Facebook keep changing the name. Facebook fan subscribers or fan membership. They keep changing. I'm not sure what they call it right now. But we're also beta testing that too. So thank you for signing up to all that. One of the major perks that you get for the support is you get all my projects from Design Space. Oh, and today, if you are a Patreon supporter, we are doing a Patreon hangout today after class. Okay. Are you guys ready? My iPad keeps dying. Okay. And are you guys ready? I am seeing your chat on Facebook and YouTube. Bobby is on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you, Bobby. He's our channel cheerleader. I almost said our class cheerleader. He's the whole channel cheerleader. All right, so how many of you are using the iPad? If you're using the iPad, raise your hand. This is my iPad. And the chat you do see in the video is from YouTube. So you won't see your Facebook chat in the video, but you will on YouTube. So if you come on over to youtube.com/MelodyLane and comment, it will be there. I love seeing all those hands raised. I just think it's fun. Okay, so this is the Cricut Design Space app. And we're going to kind of go over the different features it has, how to use those features. Please put your questions in all caps. Jamie, who's watching, if you see some important questions that I don't see because it's hard to teach and read chat and questions at the same time, please copy those and maybe ask again when I need more questions, because I don't want to miss any important questions. Okay, where was I going to go first? So this is the front page of the iPad app, and it has projects. Look at this project. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Hold on. I was going to switch to me. I had a little squirrel moment there. Okay, so on the iPad, so this is the iPad. When you're in a project, you can zoom in by going like this, okay? And then you can make it zoom out by squeezing it together. So you're not going to see my hand gestures on here. So I want to make sure that you know when I'm zooming in and out or pinching or unpinching. I'm going to be doing this. And if you need me to show you something that I'm doing with my fingers, let me know. So here's the projects. This is a lot like the desktop version. And we're going to go to, oh, we can search here. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go here. Let's go to categories. Okay, categories. It says my projects in the cloud, my projects on this iPad, my favorites, my ready to make projects, and then all categories says Cricut Access. So these, for the all categories, these are all these images that you see here, these projects that Cricut has made. You can find them by the category. So I'm in the upper left-hand corner. So I'm looking at categories. Okay, so my categories in the cloud means the ones that you have on your desktop. My iPad's getting hot, probably because it's recording. The ones that are everywhere else in the cloud, like you have a Google Cloud or Apple Cloud. The ones on this iPad means they are only available on this iPad. Let me go ahead and open up this project. I just tapped it with my finger. I'm going to tap on Customize. Oh, I already have a project. Did you see there's new images in Design Space. I'm going to replace these. So this is the project that's there. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this. So I'm going to click on Save with my finger. I'm just going to name it 2019. Looks like it's a stamp. Okay, now I have options that I don't have on the desktop. I have an option to save to the cloud, save to iPad, or cancel. Now, if I save to the iPad, it's saving to this iPad only. It's not saving to my iPhone. It's not saving to my desktop. It's not saving to my neighbor's computer. It's only in this iPad. I can now use this project offline. I can turn off my cellular, turn off my Wi-Fi, be out in the middle of the desert with my Explorer as long as I have electricity. And I can design some more on here, or I can cut it with no I have to have electricity, no Wi-Fi or internet. So if you save it to the iPad, you can use it with no internet. Why does my iPad say it's only 9:41? That's weird. It's always been the right time. Okay, so let's go back to home. And so projects in the cloud are my projects that I have been working on and ones that I share with you. These are all the projects I have in the cloud that I can access from any computer. I'm going to hit New Project, and I'm going to replace this one. Notice this one, wait. This one was not in my projects. We're going to go ahead and replace that. Let's go back to home real fast. It's on my projects in the cloud. Notice it's not there. So we're going to go to my projects on the iPad, and there it is. This was the first project I've ever saved on this iPad. Okay, I just looked at the comments and I see Bobby saying Twilight Zone. What are you guys talking about in the chat? Oh, Twilight Zone about my time. I get it. Yeah, we're in the Twilight Zone here right now. Okay, my favorites are favorite make it now projects or ready to make projects. You can favorite them. Did you guys know that? I don't know if I've ever taught that. Let's go to all categories. So if I want to hit favorite on any of these, especially the sewing projects, look at that quilt. That quilt is so cute. This one looks awesome too. I already favorited the I Have a Dream here. So you can favorite these. These are cute. Okay, so now we're going to go and click on my favorites. So it's going to save some that are my favorites. Oh, and it also saves some that are my favorites in the community. Let's just go to new project. Okay, do we have any questions so far about the front page of the iPad app? You cannot do pattern fill on the iOS app. That's a great question. You can't do it on the iOS app or the Android app. It's not quite available yet. One thing about people are always asking, why isn't this available on iPad? Like we just got some new changes happened to the desktop. There's different teams working on the desktop in iOS. They're really completely different software things to work on. Somebody might know how to, code the desktop Design Space software, but the iPad app is completely different. And the Android app is even harder. So there's different teams working on it, and they're trying to get them the same, and they're working on it. That's all we can say. I'm just happy and grateful for Cricut for not charging us. We're not charged to use the software at all, not even the iPad app. And I think, they've never told me this, but I think you're charged for all apps that you have. Like, they're being charged for it, but we're not being charged for it, I think. I don't know. They never said that. That's just my thought. But how do you get new projects? Oh, thank you, Nancy Davis, for becoming a sponsor. Welcome to the family. What do you mean new projects? The page we were just on had projects on it, but if you want a new project, there is a blue box that said new, and we create our own. And something else not available on the iPad app is curved text. I hope it comes to the iPad app. I don't know. But it's not available right now. But the app has some features the desktop doesn't either. And so those are great. Also, just so you know, the Cricut Maker knife blade does not work through the app. If you want to use the knife blade, you cannot use the app. Okay? You have to do it from a desktop or a laptop. When I say desktop, that means all computers, which is desktop, laptop, they're the same software. Stacy's asking, how do you become a member? You click the join button just below the video. You cannot use Design Space on a Kindle. Yeah, only if it's modified, and I don't know how to do that. There's ways people hack it. Terry Kyle just said she isn't on yet. Can someone tell her I am on? Is it not working on YouTube? Oh, you know what, guys? I did it again. I am in the wrong. I did not start the correct video on YouTube. Hold on, guys. It's been a busy morning. I'm not live where I'm supposed to be on YouTube. I forgot to click the correct video. So here I am. And that's why Bobby went over to Facebook, isn't it? Okay, guys, I'll be here in just a second. Let me change this chat. Okay, here we are. Thanks, guys. I was wondering why I was getting all these comments that when I was looking at the other chat. Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. I am so sorry I did that. That's a rookie mistake. I kept wondering why Jamie kept sharing a link to a YouTube. I am so sorry, guys. Okay. All right. My iPad's not even, my iPad has not even changed the time. It still says 9:41. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. So for those of you who missed the very beginning, I just went over the front page. You can just rewatch the first 5-10 minutes of the video and it will show you the front. I didn't show anything different. But remember, if you have the Cricut Maker, you cannot use the knife blade with the iPad app. Okay. Yeah, Bobby, it truly is the Twilight Zone. Let's hope the Patreon hangout's not so bad. All right, guys. Oh, let's get back to Design Space. Now I lost my train of thought. Okay. I'm going to go across the things at the bottom. What we just talked about were things that were not in Design Space. Just rewatch the beginning of the video so we don't have to repeat for everybody. And I really apologize and I'm sorry. So down at the bottom we have image. This is how we add an image. You can just click on an image you want. Look, these are free for this week. This one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And there's a few more like that. So you can click on the ones, these are so cute, that you want to bring in. You click down here at the very bottom where it says insert. Okay, and these look really small. So you guys cannot see my grid on my iPad. And let me move this over a little. I'm going to pinch out. And to move to the left or right, you have to use 2 fingers. Let me show you. So to move from the left to the right, you can't just like go like this. I can't like get over any further. You have to use 2 fingers. See? So then I can move over. I just want to show you that because the first time I tried to use it, that was a little frustrating. I didn't know how to do anything. You just use 2 fingers, okay? I also want to show you something else that the app has that the desktop does not have. Okay, see the 4 corners of this? Those are the handles. And these are the same as the desktop. If you've watched my classes before, you know how to use all those. But do you see that other button? It's kind of gray with arrows right underneath that squirrel. Look what happens when I'm holding down that button. This shows me what layers go in what order. So if I was putting this together and I wasn't sure of the layers, I could see that bottom layer is white, and then I put on the blue layer, and then I put on that dark blue layer, and then I put on the orange layer. How many people did not know that existed? And here's this one. It does not stay this way. If I take my finger off, it goes right back. I think this is fun. So if you're putting together a project and you're using your computer, you can look in the layers panel and kind of see how they go. But you could also just open up your iPhone or open up your iPad, and then you can just touch that and kind of confirm in what order do I lay these down. So for the moose, it's the pink layer is down first, and then the orange, and then the blue, and then the dark blue. And then it will look like that. And then you can see the layers without having to separate them. Like if you were just looking at this moose, you might think that the orange pieces, you have to glue on top of that. Like look at his antlers. Now I'm pinching out to zoom in. Look, like I would not want to glue those little pieces of paper together. But, let me zoom up. It's only 4 pieces of paper. You just layer on top. This is one reason I love Cricut images. They make it so easy. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is on Android. If anybody knows, can you confirm if this is on Android? I would love for you to share it with us. Okay, so that is image, but there's more in images. Let me show you something else. Okay, let's select these. Now it says down in the bottom left corner, I'm reading chat and trying to do this. In the bottom corner left, it says download selected. That means I can download these to my iPad. This is not available on a computer at all. Now I can take those that I have downloaded and I can work with those offline. I can edit those. I can cut those. I can do anything I want with those offline. It also says select visible. That means I can select everything that I can see on my iPad. Even, you see they all have a green line around them. I can download all of those. or I can insert all of them onto my canvas. And if I am without internet, I can use those images, those projects. I can edit them, I can cut with them with no internet. Okay? Okay, so that's images. Now let's go to text. Let's look at this one. Look at all the layers on this one. I gotta bring this down lower. Okay, select this one. This one has a lot of layers, but this is so pretty. These projects are beautiful. They're like thick and I love these. But these are hard to know what goes where. So you just select it, and then you can see what layers go where. Look, I can even turn it sideways. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, I'm just playing now. So let's add text. We can select the text here. We can say happy. Can grab it so it's bigger. This is an awesome font. And okay, now let's say we want to write with this. We want a writing font. We don't want to change it to write. We just want a writing font. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to click edit. So edit is down at the bottom in the middle. You'll see buttons that say action, edit, sync, layers, undo, and redo. So we are going to click edit because we want to edit the text. Now you'll see a bar popped up at the bottom. It says DJ Darling. That's the name of this font. And I can click here and I can change the name if I want. Not change the name, but change the font. Just click it back if I don't want to. Now, style. This is the question I answer all the time everywhere. Is style. See that R? We're going to click that. It's right next to font. So that says R for regular, or I can choose writing. So it's going to change into the single line writing font. So now this will write and not cut. And it's like an open font. Like, see, you can see this behind it. You do want to attach this to something so it writes on something. You can add more words and you can add it to a card or whatever you want. You can change the size and everything down here in the edit panel. It has a range and position. So if you're new to the iPad app, I suggest you play with this for a little while. Click on different things and play, and click the edit buttons and the actions buttons. Let's go ahead and add a shape to this and attach it. So I'm just going to add a square, and we've had questions that there's no rectangle and no oval. You just unlock the little lock button. You see? To the bottom left. I'm hitting that lock button back and forth, and it changes from lock to unlock, and you'll notice the arrows on the right also change. Whoops. So when it's locked, you can only change the size. You cannot change it into another shape. If you unlock it, you can make it long either way you want. Okay? You do not have to relock it again if you don't want to. So we're going to put this over the happy. I need to change that color because we're not going to do it on black. So to change the color, you have to click the layers button. the layers button is right after sync. Down here in the middle, you see actions, edit, sync, and layers. So click layers, and you'll see the square up here to the top right. I'm going to click that arrow next to that, and then I get the color option. So I'm just going to move this up with my finger. Well, no, let's not do white because the background's white. Let's do blue. Okay, so right above where it says cut is the arrow, or you can change this to cut, write, score, and print right there. But I'm just going to hit the arrow to go back to the layers panel. And now I'm selecting the square. I need this to go behind it. So I'm going to click edit at the bottom. See, now the ones I have available, you'll see the edit and the layers are green because they are showing. I will explain the camera button, yes. On YouTube, to become a member, you just click the join button underneath the video. If you're on an iPad, you won't see it. You'll have to go to a computer. So we need to arrange this. So I clicked on edit at the bottom and that menu bar popped up. You can change the size here. You can flip it horizontal or vertical, change the position where it's at on the mat. And I'm going to click arrange. So I'm going to send it to the back. So then the happy is on top of that. Oh, and did you see those yellow lines? This is my favorite feature of the iPad app. Because I have that line going horizontal and vertical, I know that happy is exactly in the center. We'll go over that a little bit more too. So now I need to attach the writing to the blue paper. Well, right now I only have the blue paper selected. I don't know how. Okay, it's just like on the desktop. I don't use the iPad very often. You'll see that it's gray because I moved it to the bottom, so it's at the bottom of the layers panel. You see it's gray, but the word happy is not selected. It's still white, but you can't tell by looking if it's selected. So if I also want to select the happy, I'm gonna, while I have the paper selected, the blue paper, I'm gonna hold my finger down on happy. Now they're both selected. Okay, and now I can attach. Okay, where's the attach button? Is right here under actions. So under actions, you'll see group, attach, weld, and then if these options are available, slice, flatten, unflatten, duplicate, isolate letters, and hide contour. So I'm going to attach it. So now you'll see in the layers panel, they have changed and they're both selected and they're both next to each other. You get the yellow lines just by moving around your images. We'll do that next. So now these are attached. So this will write right on top of that paper. And the biggest problem with this, people not being able to attach, is because they're not having both of them selected. But all you do, let me detach them. Let me go so you guys can see me do this. Okay, so here's my happy. Okay, none of them are selected. I click here. Only the blue one is selected. You can see over here in the layers panel, the happy is not selected because it doesn't have that gray. It's only the blue one, but we need to attach it. And all you have to do is hold your finger down until it's attached, until you see it attached over there. Let me try this. Does that do it? Yep, that does it too. So you can drag a box over both of them, just like the Design Space app, or desktop, I mean. Does that make sense? And then you go down and attach. And you do the same thing with group. You can group them, but grouping writing does not make it right on it. Let me switch back so you can see better. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, group. Okay, so we're going to go to make it. Well, I think we are. The word make it is not lit up. And I wonder if that's because I'm wondering if that's because of the way I'm streaming this so you guys can see my screen. Because there should be no other reason why I can't click the make button. I think that's because the way I'm streaming it. Okay, but what I was just going to show you is because it's grouped, this will write on another mat and not on the same mat. You have to attach to write on that. And you know that if you watch my videos. Even if you just use the iPad, watch my other classes. Come every Saturday, ask questions. Everything works the same in the iPad and this if they have the same features. Let's do... Oh, Jamie says, as you can see, she thinks they don't work because there's something wrong with the time. Like, I think that's when I plugged in my phone, not my phone, my iPad, to my computer. I think that's why that's not working. There's another feature that only works after you click Make It, and that is SnapMatt. So I have a full video on SnapMatt, and when this video is over, when it's processed, I'll add that video to the end of this video and in the description. It's called SnapMatt. If you search Melody Lane SnapMatt, you will find that video on how to use the SnapMatt on the iOS. Oh, Shirley, thank you. It says make it at the bottom right. Am I crazy? Okay, let me hit make it. There it is. You guys are awesome. Yeah, why does it say Tuesday, January 9th? Huh, that date is wrong. I didn't notice that. My computer is correct. Okay, so here, because I grouped these, well, we got to find the mat. It's this bottom one. Because I grouped it, it's not on there. But if I attach it, let's go back to Canvas. So at the top, you see the 3 buttons, Home, Canvas, Make. That's, okay, now I can click Make. I'm so used to the laptop or the desktop where the Make It button is at the top right. Thank you, guys. So we have these selected because they're grouped. Let's just go ahead and attach. And now we can go back to the Make It screen. And that didn't work. I must not have attached them. Let me go to the Layers panel. It says they're grouped and attached. Okay, let's detach. Let's ungroup. Select them both and attach. Now let's go to Make It. Now why? Oh, I wonder. Because I already said Make It. Oh, Matte Preview Screen. Oh, so the Matte Preview Screen did not change. I need to hit Make It down here instead of the Make It at the top. We are all learning together, aren't we? Okay, so now we're down here. So if you go back to Canvas, when you click this Make button at the very top right, it does not change it. You have to go down to the bottom button and hit make it. Yep, you guys are awesome. Okay, and people are asking about the yellow lines. So, see the yellow lines? I just get them. I'm just moving my finger. I'm not hitting any buttons. If you never see those and you have two images, all you need is two images and it will line them up. Like, see, it's lining them up to the right. That moose is even with that blue paper. If I move it over here, it'll tell me when it's even to that side. It tells me when it's even at the bottom. Now it's lining it up against the squirrel. Do you see that? If you do this and you don't have them, go to settings. So in settings, you can change it to metric units. And sometimes this is a problem people have. They're measuring it in metric and then they're going to cut it and it's not matching because they don't realize they have it in metric. So I take it off metric because I use inches. And you can turn the grid on and off. You guys, oh yeah, you can see my grid now. And smart guides. Smart guides are the yellow lines. So now I just turned off the smart guides. And I can move this anywhere I want. With this, and there's no yellow lines. With the smart guides, okay, you can't do it while that's up. It kind of pushes it into place. Like it almost like snaps into place. And sometimes you can't move it off a little bit. So then I have had to turn off my smart guides one time. But then you just turn them back on. You see that? Okay, are there any questions so far? Where did I turn on the smart guides? In settings. So settings is down here at the bottom right. You see camera, settings, and make it. Settings is in the middle. Far right bottom. In the settings. So right now I have smart guides on. Now I have them off. Now I have them on. It's the little gear. Okay, vertical text. I can show you that real fast. So we're going to add text. Let's use this one. Vertical text. You just have to hit enter after each letter. And that's the only way to do it. You can click edit. You can align them so they're centered if you want. You can change the line space to move them closer. And when you change the spaces here, you can hit the minus or the plus button or put in a number. So that's really the only way to do vertical text. Sherry Lewis Coy says first time watching. Well, it's usually much better than this, let me just say. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions. What is digital paper? I have some videos on digital paper. Digital paper you can upload as a pattern, but not in the iPad app. Blessed Mama wants me to show how to download your files as a member. I do have a video on how to do that. You don't download them, you just click them and they open up Design Space with the file and you save it. So I do have a video on that. It's called For My Supporters. The smart guides are not on desktop. What is the camera button? Okay, let me show you. Hold on. I'm trying to get, where's the camera? Okay, so here's the wall behind me. I would love to put something up on the top of the wall. I have really high ceilings. I don't know, I think they're 10 foot or something. And I want to put something up there. So the only use for this camera button is, let's say I want to put the moose up there. And I want to see how he fits with the color of my wall. Or you can't, the size is not really going to be the same because he's only a few inches. And so that's all you do. It's to see if it's going to match. Like, if I want to see if the colors I have here will match my kitchen wall up at the top with all my flamingos. I don't think a squirrel will look right up there. All right. Oh, I still have Santa up there. Oh, they would look cute up there on the wall. But really, that's all the camera button is for. I have also used the camera button just to take screenshots. You cannot take a picture, but you can take a screenshot with your phone or the iPad. And I've done that before. Upload button. Do we want to try to upload? So I've done a whole video on Bitmojis, but I've never done it on the iPad. So here's my Bitmoji app. Oh, and look, that just switches automatically. Let's do this hugs. So I'm going to click this and I am going to save image. So I'm going to click on save image. So now it's saved. So let's go back to Cricut. And now I'm going to click down at the bottom. The buttons are image, text, shapes. Did I show you shapes? You just click the shapes. Or upload. So now we have a menu that says take a photo. So you can take a photo right now. You can select the photo from your library, or you can browse files. I think if you have a Dropbox and an app for that, you can get files that way. You get Bitmojis through the Bitmoji app. I do have a whole video on that. So it will, I show you how to get them that way. And I just showed in this video how to click it and save it. So I'm going to select photo from here and just click here, click this one. Okay, so now see that black square? That black square is what my image is going to look like if I just continue and I don't save it as if I just save it as a cut file, it's going to be that black square because cut files only cut the outside. Flatten is used for print and cut. I've done flatten in most of my videos, showed how in most of my classes. But we don't want it like this. So we're going to clean up the background, and you can clean up better on the iPad app than you can on the desktop. So we're going to click this button that says remove. I call this the magic wand. And I'm just going to click that white background. So now it will show over to the right that's what's going to cut. I can still save it as a print, and then it's going to cut that out. So it's not going to cut the bubble thing. It's going to cut out each letter. I don't really want that, but we can erase. Whoops. I erased. Ooh, I really erased too much. See? Whoops. Okay, we're going to undo. I'm going to undo again and maybe make this eraser a little smaller. Gives me less mistakes to do. Okay, and we can also crop it. Whoops. Here. And hit the check mark. But look at the cut line. It's going to cut a little messy. So we're going to just hit next. Next is at the top right. Okay, so now here's despeckle. Notice the hugs now at the top. See the black pieces? They're a little different. So we are going to click on despeckle, and we can despeckle a lot. Oh, wow, that just got rid of the hugs. Okay, we moved it back down. No, it just wants to get rid of all the... There we go. Okay, let's hit smooth. And we can just keep hitting this until it's smooth how we want it. And then I'm going to click reset, and it's going to reset it back to the beginning. So despeckle, you move this back and forth, which is kind of smart because the hugs I would not have cut out. Let's go to next. So now this is where we're going to choose the cut file, which is to the left, or the print and cut. If we do not choose, it's going to choose the cut file, and it's going to be black. I'm just going to title this Bitmoji. And now it's saved it as that. We do not have it saved as print because I did not click that first. Okay, let's go back to upload. I'm going to hit close. I'm going to hit upload. We're going to do the same picture again. And I'm just going to erase this whole thing. We're going to remove all the white. Hit next. We're going to hit next. Now we're going to click on print and cut. So now that has a green one. I'm going to say print. So now we can insert that. And can we cut that? Okay, we're going to replace the mat we already had. Yeah, we can do print and cut with this, but we can't use patterns. Yes, Annie. Okay, let's go back to Canvas. She's asking if we wanted to print out this moose. We would select the moose and we would click flatten. Flatten is under actions. Yes, it is. So I'm going to click flatten on the moose, and now it changed it from a cut file to a print file. See, now when we do this, you can't see the layers. Let's see, undo. Nope, undo again. There, now it's a cut file. You see the 4 layers? Okay, let's hit flatten. It's only one layer. And when I hit make it, ooh, image is too large. Let's make it smaller. So now it's a print. And I'm looking at your questions that aren't being answered. I don't think it's better to use the iPad. It's just your preference. Some people prefer iPad. Some people prefer desktop. I prefer desktop. I'm in front of a computer all day. Kathy Connolly, I can see your comment. I can't see you. How are you seeing it in 3D? Look at the squirrel. Do you see the 4 buttons in the corner? There's one right underneath the squirrel. And I'm just pushing it up. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing. Whoops. So I'm holding that and just moving my finger up. And when I let go, it stops. Does that make sense? How do you draw in Design Space? You can't actually draw. You could draw something and upload it, but it's going to cut it and not draw it. Let's go back. Let's go back to image. So I'm hitting the bottom corner in the image and we're on uploaded. So I'm going to click the upload button and I'm going to search draw. So these are images that have drawing or the word draw. So these are all drawing images. Now, if you're creative, you can, I love those mandalas. Look, the squirrel and the moose and all those are there as drawing too. So you could like color those in. There's the moose and this bird and raccoon and fox and owl are all from the same one. This adventure over here, it's like a truck and a camper and hot air balloons and trees and mountains and animals. This, I colored this. I think I did it in high speed on YouTube. I think I did it backwards too. So these are all draw images. Now you can use shapes and change them to draw and kind of make your own. Aren't these fun? If you guys have not tried draw and trying to use the pens, you really need to. It's fun. Look, this one is an Easter treat box. The bunny, that one. And it draws on the face and the ears. Those are fun. I mean, it's just going on forever. Let me flip back to the beginning. I wonder if it says, okay, it says there's 614 images for draw. Now, there are more drawing images that just are not under the word draw. I know there's, let me see if you get anything with write. Not really, not drawing images. You do sentiment. Sentiments that you'd want to write inside a card. Look at all these. If you hear snoring, that's my dogs. Okay, and then you have some cards. And you have more sentiments. So you can make your own cards really easy. These are awesome sentiments. They're from Anna Griffin. And then there's cut ones. Okay, let's go back. We're just going to hit close. Hi, Gary. have almost 1,800 videos now. Somebody's asking if they don't have a maker, can they use the Air 2 for lightweight cardboard? You can cut cereal boxes with the Air 2 or any of the Explorer machines. Yeah, you can color. You can have the Cricut write this and color it. Yeah, Marcia, you can write. I've done lots of writing projects. You can also emboss with heat embossing. I have a lot of videos on that. You can use it on cards, scrapbooking. You can make signs. You can I cut acetate either with the green or purple mat. Okay, guys, it's been an hour. So if there's anything you want me to go over next Saturday, let me know. I don't have any plans for that video. If you want me to do more on the iPad, let me know. Or if there's other features you want to see. Jennifer LaChance, that's a great idea to label your mats for vinyl or cardstock. Joy, I'm not positive, but I think the Cricut pens are alcohol markers. They're not watercolor. And here's a little hint. I tried yesterday. I was going to try to do a video yesterday. Got too busy, but I have embossed with the Cricut gel pens. The regular pens won't work. The gel pens, you can emboss over. To cut like cereal boxes, you'd use the regular blade, the premium fine point blade. Yes, sentiments are on Design Space. There's tons of them. I am so sorry to the people that this is first time watching. We had some trouble in the beginning. Yes, it's already been over an hour. And so those of you that support on Patreon and YouTube members, you get to watch the video, I think. I have to make sure you guys have your links. And we are going to hang out in a Zoom video. It will not be public on my channel. You have to have the links to join the group in the post. Yes, Sue, I use the clear embossing with the gel pens. Is this? And for those of you in Canada, we just opened up Chalk Couture. You can pre-register now if you live in Canada. Okay, Bobby can't find that post. I'm going to make sure I go and post that now in the YouTube community, a link to the video, and on to Facebook members too. So give me a few minutes and I will be back in the Patreon. Okay, they're in the Patreon post, but I'm not sure if we put them in the community on YouTube. All right, guys, thank you so much. And thank you for your patience. The beginning of this video, I'm so sorry. I started a different video on YouTube. It was a crazy morning. All right, guys. Bye. I just saw a question. Is there any way to flatten text after you ungroup it? Yeah, it doesn't need to be grouped to flatten. Flatten has nothing to do with grouping. You can flatten any image. It doesn't matter if it's grouped or attached or welded. Flatten is completely different. All right, guys. Bye.